talking about a few decks here in the future that might actually have a viable place to stand up against the meta. Make sure you guys smash the like and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more. I was going to happy 4th of July, everybody. Well, anyway, so we're going to be starting off over here with Kawaki Merus. And somebody's going to be like, no, I'm clicking off of the video. He just said Kawaki Meru is a viable deck in the future. Nope, I'm not listening to this. Nope, leaving. Click out. Okay. Well, so why in the world are we talking about Kawaki Meru at all? So once the Light Duelist pack touches down, which I'm assuming is going to be a September, October release date, we're still going to be dealing with the festering, BS that's kind of been going on with the course of the meta. But there's some very interesting things that Kawaki Meru cards can actually do. So not only do we get like Tachyon searchers and things with this, but you have an ability to reveal Giant Hand to search for Urnite. Well, Urnite also directly gets you into Drago. And I don't know if you remember our dear friends out here at the Kawaki Meru Drago Dome, but Drago says no special summons allowed for light and dark monsters on a 1900 walking, talking floodgate. All right, like I just want to reiterate what's going on with, the reason why this deck is good is you can put, Giant Hand on the field. You can put, all of these Kawaki Meru Drago and Eruptions. You can have the Diamond Core protect your guy. You're basically searchability, ability to get bodies on the field to extend on into these combos, and you're floodgating your opponent out of the game. Now, while those might not seem like super inviting things out here, you can actually take so you don't have to play the Kawaki Meru stuff, because with the addition of the Tachyon and the search cards that you get with it, you can play the FTK as well. So what I actually did was I took the Kawaki Meru deck. We have a Horus package in there, because why would you not have Horus cards in this deck? Like, you have to understand, any deck that you're looking at fundamentally playing, if you can toss some Horus cards in there, because those Horus cards, maybe you open up a hand that's kind of garbage. All right, and you're like, oh, hey, like King Sark, I can pitch, these terrible, cards out of my hand. Like, maybe, a Diamond Core or something didn't come up at, like, the right time, or some off searchability option. Well, we can change that by converting it into a Horus package. You have Giant Trainer, you have assets to draw you these cards. But by playing those Horus cards, you're able to get to the Catapult Turtle FTK, which, as of filming this, I do expect that they will probably do something to the Tachyon FTK. The reason why this is in the whole Kawaki Meru subsection of talk is because, the lines kind of come together. Now, obviously, if you have access, honestly, this just kind of comes down to how stupid the Horus cards can be. So, like, the Kawaki Meru stuff gives you a consistency buff, along with the Tachyon stuff giving you the searchability to have access to the toolbox stuff to set up these big plays and inconvenience your opponent. But on that same side of the flip coin out here, floodgate opponent, or you could just Kawaki, or just Tachyon, Catapult Turtle, OTK your opponent. A lot of it's going to come down to, at least in terms of build, what you're looking at. Do you think your opponent has a lot of hand traps? That's a very major thing to think about out here. Is if you open up in a situation that you're looking at this O or FTK, and you're like, all right, I want to set this up to end the game. I actually just got done playtesting 10 minutes before filming this video. Ran into a Volcanic player, and they're like, hey, let's play. So I'm playing the Kawaki Meru Tachyon deck, and they go first. Ash Blossom wins me the game, because stopping the normal summon from getting the little dump that they needed for the crucial time. Check. All right. So they come back. They're like, I want to play game 2. And I won the redice roll. I was like, okay, this is fine. and then we just Catapult Turtle FTK'd them. Like, I was like, you're playing Volcanics, you very clearly did not have any emission of hand traps here. And that's why I bring up, you know, on the side of the FTK, yeah, you have the Catapult Turtle FTK, yeah, it is a thing, but you've got to think about, can I play through these hand traps? And an Ash on an Imseti can really just, oops, all death. Like, people underestimate that side of the equation. So I do think that obviously the Quacky deck can be a strong challenger to the meta. As long as, just preface everything here, you go first. Well, isn't that the same thing with the FTK wrap? Yes, honestly, it is. Obviously, you can do the going second version of it, which is just call number 100 up on the phone, be like, hey, yo, get in here. We gotta go run over some monsters with the truck. And, you know, in comes the 17,000 attack point monster dragon. And not every game is going to line up for you to do this. This is why, I'm not saying that, like, multi-plan the game plan here, but Bloodgate's pretty good. The ability to make it so your opponent can't get a turn are both very good. And from my own personal testing, it has been fun. All right, I think, yeah, somebody's gonna be like, well, yeah, you're just FTKing people. I can't believe that you're just playing these simulators out here. Just disgusting. Your opponent's not even getting a turn. Yeah, you are correct, Amundo. It's no worse than my opponent sitting there for 20 minutes trying to combo off. No different whatsoever. One other point I wanna make along the way here, just in the terms of, you know, besides the Quacky Marrow and the whole, you know, scraping by on, you know, the FTK stuff, I want to put an emphasis on the Horus package in general. The Horus stuff, especially, like, maybe you're kind of over here in the corner, you're still looking at the Light and Darkness Dragon cards, or, you know, Lad as a whole, and you're like, I want to try these sorts of things. While the new Light and Darkness Dragon stuff is a little bit inviting and it might trick you, just, you look at it, you're like, oh, I want to try that. You got to remember, in terms of the world of deck building out here, that things are going to get a little bit scary. You got to remember you have all these Tachyon cards coming down the pipeline here too that just might turn your Horus stun deck into this beautiful FTK. All right, that's, what is it, three level 8s is full FTK / OTK / you know, we did it sort of thing. And I mean, you can build that into the Light and Darkness Dragon cards and be fine, honestly. But more or less, I mean, a call back to the Horus stun deck. I do think that the Horus stuff does have a little bit of an issue handling some of this meta. I think 150% any of these decks that I've mentioned, it's just been Quacky Marrow and the FTK, like even Horus stun, if you're planning on playing on like a local level anytime soon, especially going into September, October out here where we're kind of expecting to, you know, see the light duels pack stuff. I mean, these are all things that I think can do okay. Same thing out here with the, well, I mean, a generic Floodgate. At any point you snap your fingers and you can call Quacky Marrow Draco up on the phone, that's going to get you a free W. You know, the inconveniencing power of the Horus package, sometimes Horus control right now is a very real thing. I've actually seen a lot of people crack to just having, you know, Hoppy Imseti on the field, or, you know, maybe even, you know, Dumatef showing up on the field too. All three of those cards, sometimes Exceed Summoning might not be the best call. I know, it's a really weird thing to say that, actually. But then again, you could just lose a game to a Tempai Dragon being normal summon. So, I mean, it comes down to local environment. Do you think the FTK will stick around? I guess is also the better question. But the Quacky Marrow stuff has been pretty fun, honestly. And maybe I'll revisit and post the list and do a little bit of an analysis for it. But from how things are kind of shaping up here, if you've only got to pick up, what, 3-4 cards? Technically, it's a 2-2 split, I think, and one card from the extra deck from the Duels pack. So, I mean, like, even if like that's going to be on the menu, I think that's all viable in terms of deck build. But we'll have to wait and see. It's a deck build set or a duels pack set, and if they do anything, one card is going to be worth like $40-50. So I don't know, but that's my take on things right now. That at least heading into the future will be viable, in my opinion. And even like the Horus stuff right now, I think is interesting to consider. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace.
Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.